Okay, so this video is going to be about when I say pick a number from 1 to 99, if from my campmates, you could share this video and tell them if they want to hear facts, which numbers to pick, and if they don't, which numbers not to pick. So generally I try to do it interstate and in a U.S. route and in a state route of New York, and in a county route of either Nassau or Suffolk County, if applicable. But I have to obviously know about it. Now for interstate and U.S. routes, especially interstate, but U.S. route 2 mostly, I know. So here's the thing, there's no such thing as an interstate 1. 1 is a bad number. There is a U.S. route 1, and I obviously know it. I've been on it multiple times. U.S. Route 1 is a highway that goes from Miami, Florida to, I believe, Woodstock, Maine. The highway stretches for over 900 kilometers in both Florida and Maine. As in Florida, it actually goes all the way down to Key West, not Miami. And in Maine, it wraps around the coast and then the Canadian border until Woodstock. Generally, it's parallel by Interstate 95, though it does go farther inland from it, from Jacksonville, Florida, to Petersburg, Virginia. Anyway, I don't think there's such thing as New York State Route 1, and there has to be a County Road 1 somewhere, but I forgot about for Suffolk County. But Nassau County, however, County Road 1 is a part of Glen Cove Road, a road that goes down from Old Country Road, so I believe this one is the Old Country Road, which is in the town of Hempstead. Then I was going to show it up. Maybe it's in North Hempstead. And then Glen Cove Road proceeds up. It has a concourse to NY 107 proceeding into Glen Cove. So it even goes into Oyster Bay at a part, town of Oyster Bay, despite being so far west. It is exit 31 off of the Northern State Parkway and exit 39 off of Interstate 495. Do you see that? They're launching fireworks and it's July 7th. I mean, stop launching fireworks. Yes, and if this video takes like a little over 4 hours to upload, yes, if this video takes a little longer than 4 hours to upload, yes, it will be July 8th, the upload date. Shut up. Anyway, July 8th. No, July 8th. July 9th, July 10th, no, never mind. So anyway, so Glen Cove Road actually persists when it intersects M125. M125 is actually pretty far south at this point. So it intersects it right by the NSP. In fact, Merrick Road, I'll show you Merrick Boulevard this far out, and 25, despite being opposite ends of a 17-kilometer long highway, N135, despite that being exit 1 and exit 14, Merrick Road begins all the way out west in Queens at Jamaica in the center of Long Island, and it just proceeds south. It doesn't intersect M124, which is exit 7, it's kind of in the middle. That doesn't intersect 25 until further out east by Interstate 295, which would really make sense. I mean, because Merrick doesn't intersect 295, doesn't intersect 24 either. It's actually runs a pretty long distance in Queens. It intersects Francis Lewis Boulevard, right actually by exit 24A, right on the Nassau County border. It's still further north than 9127, however. They correct in Rockville Center. Does it intersect the SSP? No. No, a lot of people think the belt's the SSP. No, it does not. Anyway, um, anyway, now that that's totally irrelevant, two. There's an Interstate 2. It's a highway in southern Texas. Great. I don't really know too much about it. 70 kilometers in length. Figure out the rest, nerds. US Route 2 is actually a highway paralleling the US-Canada border. It begins at Everett, Washington, and it goes through smaller cities like Minot, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota. It doesn't really go through too many major cities given how far north it is. And it goes all the way out to Mackinac City, Michigan. And then it begins again at Rouse's Point in the northeastern corner of Champlain, New York, which is the northeasternmost town there. Very quickly proceeds into Vermont and heads through some more major cities, such as Burlington, but in the long run, it doesn't really hit too far. I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to go over all of them. Look, I'm going to tell you some good numbers and some bad numbers. We're just getting started. So what's some good numbers? What are some numbers that if you're not a nerd, you don't want to hear? A good one would be 68. Now, I don't really know much about US Route 68, but I know Interstate 68 is a highway just south of Pennsylvania and Maryland and West Virginia, going from Interstate 79 to 70. It goes through the Maryland Panhandle, and yeah. I don't really know much about New York State Route 68, but I also know about County Road 68, the William Floyd Parkway, which is out in eastern Suffolk County and connects to the eastern half of Fire Island. It's exit 68 off of I-495. I forgot what exit is off I-27. Yeah, actually, before we continue, let's talk about some common misnomers with the SSP. So the SSP and NY27 are often confused for the same highway, but that's not true. There are a point where there are, yes, 4 overlapping concurrent highways, because New York State Route 27 US Route 20 because New York State Route 27, yes, becomes a highway in the town of, so if you're wondering where exactly Huntington and Babylon cut off, it's not really relevant, but Melville is like, I'd say, the southernmost point in Huntington. So a lot of times people say, oh, it's Huntington because it's near Melville. No. Melville is around the halfway point. Babylon is southern Long Island. Just think about whether or not it will really fall into Hempstead. That's a good comparison. So Farmingdale would count as southern Long Island because East Farmingdale, I mean, it's in Suffolk County, but it's in Babylon. So is Wyandotte and Wheatley Heights. They're kind of on the border, but more so Babylon. Just like vitamin in my stomach. I took like 12, bad idea. I took like 12 vitamins before, and anyway. Oh yeah, I got new shoes, but remember, like I said, there was a tiny gap, but that gap like kept on got bigger and bigger. Like at first I wasn't really too worried, but really, bro, like once you get that bust dent, it gradually gets bigger, and by gradually I mean like daily. Anyway, so like NY27 begins in the town of Babylon. I'd say maybe the hamlet of Babylon, but I wouldn't be overconfident in that statement. On the on the one premise that would be overconfident thing, then on the one statement that only overconfident saying that, like, because, so if you know the SSP, you know a couple things. So once it gets to Suffolk County, it has more Cloverleaf type interchanges with bigger highways. We're talking the likes of NY 110, which is exit 32 off of the SSP, CR3, which is exit 35, and whatever the hell that straight path is, whatever exit that is, which is exit 36. But exit 33 is NY 109, which is exit 37 off the SSP. If you're wondering, that's kind of where, and like the exit numbers are practically identical. They basically line up perfectly, which exaggerates this problem, but, and they trade highways like the NSP and 495 because their exit numbers are so similar. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, yeah, like they kind of could make a mistake, but there are points where they line up. And it's easy to confuse one for the other. Yeah. So if you're wondering how the town system works, so North Hempstead is very small because it's a northern part of Long Island, like the western, like the northwestern fourth, I guess. And the reason why I say fourth is because Oyster Bay like bulges out and out and out. Like it's very skinny, just Massapequa and East Massapequa, which aren't really that fat at the bottom. And it generally is 2 to 3 hamlets. But I mean, at the North Shore, it gets wide. That's partially because Suffolk County pushes in on the other side, which means that from my location, yes, this sounds weird. If I go due north, I eventually hit Suffolk County. Yes, that is weird. If I go due south, I do eventually hit Hempstead. So I'm supposed to be west. But North Hempstead, that's the thing. So it's like the northern half of Long Island, but where exactly that cutoff, because I mean Westbury is a part of North Hempstead, and so is Newcastle, which I bet you didn't know is that tiny strip of land between Hicksville and Westbury, and so is Call Place, and so is Mineola. However, once you get to the North Shore, Glen Cove is its own city, but everything like the Glen Cove pseudo-metropolitan area, I mean, I know it doesn't really exist, but if there was a Glen Cove metropolitan area, it would be in Oyster Bay. Like, I'm not too sure, but, you know. And that's the thing, Hempstead is over 750,000 people, and North Hempstead has around 250,000 people. Combined, they have 1 million people, but obviously North Hempstead carries them. Hempstead carries them because because Long Beach is surrounded by it, so obviously a lot of people live in the Long Beach area. You know, you have a lot of people living more so, not so much in the South Shore, but in places like Levittown and Seaford, definitely Wantagh, which really gives them a big advantage over. Which really gives them a big advantage over everything else because they expand further out east than North Hempstead due to the way that Oyster Bay works, because it's generally 2 or 3 hamlets wide from the South Shore all the way up to the North Shore, but it gets wider the further north that you go. Like, generally it's supposed to be only around the easternmost fifth, I'd say, and it only has 300,000 residents. Generally, it's supposed to be the easternmost fifth, I'd say, but at the point it becomes half of the North Shore. And yes, you have to go through Oyster Bay when getting to I initially thought Hempstead. You wouldn't necessarily have to, but you could go only through Hempstead and reach Suffolk County from Queens. Can't, because they do actually have a border. That would be cool, though. It's basically just Tobay Beach, but you know. So if you want to in Suffolk County, so like you have Huntington, Babylon, until the Sactico/Robert Moses Causeway / Sunken Meadow, really, because then you get to Smithtown. So yeah, Huntington has around 200,000 people. So if you're wondering, Melville is actually only has 31,000 people, despite being over 2.5 times the size of Plainview. And then you have the actual CDP of Huntington, you have Young's Hill. It's pretty interesting. But with once you get there, you reach Smithtown and Islip. Now, Islip is generally thought of as being central Long Island, but it isn't really. That, I'd say, would be more so in western Brookhaven. It's kind of like Oyster Bay, the fact that it's just across the whole island. 500,000 people live here, too, and then you have Riverhead, which is kind of like the split. And so then you have Southampton and East Hampton on the South Shore, South Hold on the North Shore, and in between is Shelter Island.